She was one of the Food Network's most beloved judges.
You really did take it to the next level, and the drink is perfect, Anthony.
Thank you, Donatella. Thank you.
Donatella Arpaia appeared on more than 50 episodes of the Iron Chef franchise.
This is excellent.
But the lawyer-turned-celebrity chef is also a best-selling cookbook author and a wildly successful restaurateur.
About a year ago, I opened my first upscale quick casual pizza concept called Prova Pizza Bar in Grand Central Terminal.
Prova Pizza Bar serves up classic Neapolitan pies inspired by Donatella's Italian roots.
It's a really healthy hybrid type of Neapolitan Roman style pizza, and it's doing great, and we're so excited because we just signed for our second location, so we plan to take it across the country.
Born in Manhattan, Arpaia spent her childhood summers in Torino, Italy, where she developed her passion for authentic Italian cuisine. Today, Donatella is opening up her home to show us what she really cooks for dinner.
Hi, my name is Donatella Arpaia. Welcome to my home. I'm so excited to show you around. I just got this apartment not too long ago. It's my first adult apartment as a married woman. I have views of Central Park. So this is my 6-year-old boy's backyard. This is a favorite photo of mine. I took it for all the food I was doing for my restaurant Prova Pizza Bar, and my son came into the shot and grabbed spaghetti, and it was an impromptu shot, but it's one of my favorites. What kid doesn't love spaghetti? So here we now come into my kitchen. My fridge, a lot of drinking in this household. I'm kind of obsessed with this pamplemousse, this flavored grapefruit soda and juice for my son. And now we're into coconut and almond milk for our smoothies. I always have eggs and water. I'm very into organizing my herbs, and actually my friend Jeffrey Zakarian, that's him. See how nice I am, Jeffrey? Sent me this. It's for organizing and keeping your herbs fresh and all the different things in your refrigerator fresh. And we do this often in restaurants, and now it's a great way to preserve your food. And over here, obsessed with Calabrian chili and oil. It's really a great spice. I use the Calabrian chili oil everywhere. I think most people use red pepper flakes to make a spicy ragu. It has such an incredible heat that has a lot of depth of flavor and texture. It's not just hot. People are obsessed with this. I use this in my restaurant when I make my spicy meatballs, and the sauce, it's Calabrian chili. It's worth it. Okay, so this is what I would make on a typical night. Pasta, seasonal. I'm all about butternut squash and pumpkin right now, so I'm gonna make a nice Garganelli with a creamy butternut squash sauce. And we're gonna add a few extra final touches to it. I think it's like 2 minutes away from being ready. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. I like this dish because it's sweet, so my son will eat it. It's healthy, and it has this creamy taste, but there's actually no cream in it. So it's nice and healthy for you. So we're gonna start with an onion. Because it's gonna be pureed, you just kind of have to cut it evenly so it cooks, but that's about it. No fancy cutting required here. Okay, and I have my butternut squash already cut. You get them in the grocery store now, pre-cut already, but they're often dried out. So if you have the time, try and cut it. If you don't, this is fine. So now we're gonna go to the pot. I'm gonna put the heat on. I already have my water boiling for the pasta, and I'm gonna add a lot of salt in, and I really feel that people never add enough salt to the water. So just a trick, add enough salt. It should really taste like salted water when you boil pasta. I'm just gonna add a couple tablespoons of olive oil into the pan, and I'm putting it on medium heat, not too high, because I really don't want the onions to caramelize. I just want them to sweat out a little bit. So I'm gonna start with the onions. And you really don't want it to color, so be careful you're not doing anything else while you do that. And I'm gonna take 2 cloves of garlic next. You wanna put the garlic after the onion. You don't want the garlic to burn. You know what happens with burned garlic? It just ruins the entire dish. You can't recover from burnt garlic, which is a shame. So you really just do need to not multitask at this moment, but it really is really quick and easy. Then I'm going to get some fresh rosemary and thyme. and strip the herbs right here. It's really easy to strip herbs. You take it from the top to the bottom and strip it right in. I really believe in fresh herbs at all costs if possible. It really makes a difference in the brightness of the dish. Now some rosemary. So this is rosemary and thyme, which I think really complements the butternut squash. Wooden spoon brings back many memories for me. If you were Italian, you'd end up with a wooden spoon on your butt. Whenever my mom was cooking, and invariably I would interrupt her and she would run after me and hit me on the butt with one of these. Can't do that today. Smells delicious in here. I wish you could smell it at home. Okay, now I'm gonna add the butternut squash in. You wanna stir for about a couple of minutes to really saute the butternut squash. You just want it to kind of get a little bit toasted and get the flavors of the onion and the garlic. Just about 2-3 minutes of tossing. And I'm gonna add a little more salt and pepper right now. And come to think of it, why not put a little bit of heat? Let me grab some of my Calabrian chili, because a little bit of heat with the sweetness will play off really well. Just a little bit. It looks nice and sauteed. I think it's ready for the broth. So all you do now is cover it with a little chicken broth or vegetable broth. I like the taste of chicken broth, so I'm going to use chicken broth. You want to raise the heat, and when it comes to a boil, we're going to cover it and let it simmer until it gets nice and soft, probably about 15 minutes. In the meantime, while this is coming to a boil, I'm going to make garnish. I love me some pancetta, especially when it comes in a whole piece like this, so I can make nice, thick chunks. I think the smokiness and the pork flavor really complements the sweetness of the butternut squash sauce. Who doesn't love pork? Yum. Fat cooking and fat. What more do you want? Okay, so my butternut squash is almost soft enough to be ready to be pureed. My water is boiling. This pasta takes about 9 minutes to cook, so now's the time to put it in. Just gonna give it a quick stir. There's all these like myths about putting olive oil in your pasta water to make sure that it doesn't stick, but that's actually a terrible thing to do. The reason why pasta sticks is because you're not using enough water to boil it. As the Italians say, la pasta deve balle, which means you have to make sure there's room for the pasta to dance. Okay, let me just check on my butternut squash. I think it's like 2 minutes away from being ready. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. I should wait for it to cool a little bit before I put it in the blender, but the Vitamix can handle it. So in this mixture is sauteed onions, garlic, rosemary, thyme, salt, pepper, and either vegetable or chicken broth. Sauteed in a little bit of olive oil, simmering for about 15 minutes until it's nice and soft. I'm going to take this, add a little pasta water in here. Perfect. We're going to raise the heat, toss it together, and then garnish, and it'll be ready. Okay, I think the pasta's ready. So make sure you get all the water out, but I don't mind if some pasta drippings get into the sauce. See? I love Garganelli pasta. I think it holds the sauce really well because of the ridges, so it holds on to the creaminess of the sauce. So I'm just gonna put the heat on high. You just kind of want to marry the pasta and the sauce. And I love the green and white. I feel it's very seasonal. Smells good. I'm also using burrata cheese, and burrata and butternut squash is amazing together. Burrata is from Puglia, where my mother is originally from. It's a purse of mozzarella, so inside it's nice and creamy. You want to cut, I usually score it and take out the ooey gooey center, and we're going to dollop it on top. All right, this piece is a little, it's flying away, so I feel it's necessary just quality control to try by. So good. All right, this is done. Ready to rock and roll. Final touch, salt, pepper, and I have one more little surprise. So in Italy, often with butternut squash, instead of Parmesan cheese, we grate, where's my grater? We grate a little amaretti or cantoncini cookie on top. And believe it or not, the sweetness of the butternut squash with the heat of the Calabrian chili and the smokiness of the bacon and a little cookie crunch on top is so good. Yummy. So good. Yum. Buon appetito, everyone. Thanks for coming to my home.